Hey, thanks for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. If you are joining for the first time, I appreciate your time. Here we talk geopolitics on how Africa engage its strategic partners from around the world. There is something happening in the geopolitical cycle where Africa never and has never put its interest forward before any other particular regions around the world. Why am I saying this? If you listen to the European Union speak, they talk about interest. If you listen to the United States speak, they talk about their individual interests. The Asian partners speak, they talk about their individual interests. Only Africa does not talk about its own interests. What is the reason about it? Is it because of your particular colonial formation, or is it as a result of lack of nationalism, or the rallying, the belief for self-love, the love for country? Why are you not talking about your own interest? Why is the African Union not talking about the Africa's interest? Why are African governments not speaking loudly about it is about our own interest, it is about our own interest? And we never hear this word about interest. Interest here, interest there. We've heard that with regards to the United States singing that Marco Rubio has come out clear and said the United States of America's foreign policy will be based on the United States' own interest. The only part in the continent of Africa that, to an extent, when they started using the word interest, it got to a terrible problem in the region. And this is the Sahelian countries, the Alliance of the Sahelian states, that's made of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. When these countries start talking about their own interests, their geopolitical colonizer, France, that are actually hamstrung this particular region for centuries. They understand that particular message of self-interest. Self-interest is a big tool in geopolitical circle. When you start talking about it does not sit on our interest, it does not sit regards to our own interest, it does not sit with the interest of our nation, it does not sit with our strategic interest, it does not sit in regards to our own interest. This particular word, our interest, is a big tool in the geopolitical conversation. When you start using your interest, your geopolitical partner understand. You understand the game, you know the tools, you understand the trick. They understand this message because no particular geopolitical partner, Asian partners, European partners, Americans partners, Latin American partners, looking at Middle Eastern partners, none of them will come to the deal to sign a particular partnership engagement or any extraction or deals around projects without putting their interest first. So I never hear African countries talk about this is about our own interest, this is what we're going to do. So is it the aspect of that as a result of your colonial formation, how your governments are structured, or how your particular arrangements are, that you don't bring this particular statement at the forefront of your conversation? Interest is what your partners want to hear. If you bring the interest conversation on the table, you are done. You're basically sending a strong signal to your strategic partner that it's about our own interest. It's not about you, your interest, whosoever is concerned, whether the leader of the nations at that particular stage at that time. When you talk about your interest, they understand this communication. It's so simple. The countries of the Sahel have decided that the current relationship with their particular partner, that's France, it's not working. It's not serving their interests. It does not meet the needs of their people. That's the reason why we saw leaders in the country of Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, came out and said this colonial, historical, at the time, military cooperation does not serve our people, does not provide the skills. You can't be training someone for 70 years and this person is not ready to defend their own nation. It means something is actually wrong with regards to that particular training. It does not deliver the interest of the people. It does not tackle the security of that particular region. So when you start talking about interest, this should be the new mantra. Our interest with regards to our particular relationship and engagement in a whole lot of areas, on trade, on bilateral negotiations, on a whole lot of very important tools, looking at United Nations and international financial aspect. All of these are important areas where the conversation about our own interests should come in. We've seen European partners talk about that the United States, they push back to the US that this does not meet our own interests. We have our own internal interests, we have external interests. But as a result of the internal interests influencing foreign policy interests, that's where the partners will understand. It will spare you all of this particular disengagement, this particular condescending communication, slamming and paternalism. All of these will be sidelined without any delay. So if you start using the word, it does not meet our interests or the interests of our people, the interests of our own survival, the interests of our engagement, the interests of our particular negotiation, the interests of our own particular community. All of these, except you feel that making decisions without thinking about your particular community is the way to go. But if you continue in this aspect, because what I'm talking about is, this particular moment is a window of opportunity that Africa has. The continent of Africa, like I've always said, will never have this chance anymore moving forward. Because at the moment, the United States has disengaged. China is still engaging. Europe at the moment is actually confused because it needs to deal with Russian-Ukraine war and the United States of America slamming Europe. And Africa at this moment is feeling fresh air. Africans need to move faster at this particular time to engage those particular partners that are relevant economically, strategically, in all areas. These are particular moments that Africa's interest should come first in terms of any particular area. If you do not let your partners understand, because a number of people talk about Africa's making position. No, Africa hasn't been making its position clear. It's just talk about things. If you make your position clear that this is what we believe in, this is what we're going to be doing, this is where we're going to move, your partner understand. Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, and Niger, they have said the relationship does not meet their interests, and irrespective of what happens, we're going to go our separate ways. We're going to move our separate ways, period. They just said it and they are acting on it. They have actually told the colonial organization ECOWAS that is currently at the lowest end of its performance, that is currently still engulfing itself in its colonial success, is still thinking that Africa hasn't moved. The continent of Africa has moved so fast that this particular organization, like I said in the previous episode, does not understand what has happened in the continent of Africa. That's the reason why this issue of does not meet our interests. The countries of the Sahel has demonstrated that by you talking about your interest, your partner understand. Because France talk about its interest, the United States talk about its interest, China talks about its interest, the Russians talk about their own interest, fringe powers across the European Union talk about their own interest, Asian partners and Middle Eastern partners talk about their interests. Only African countries don't talk about their own interests. This is important. You don't have to struggle with regards to discussing your interest. Your interest is your interest. Whatever that means, your partner will understand. Because why? They will use that particular arrangement, whether it's a contract or it's a strategic relationship or military cooperation, they will put it in their context and they will understand where you stand. That frees you from this unnecessary sabotage or unnecessary condescending, like I pointed out. So why I'm talking about it, it is important that African government and strategists and political analysts, government officials, consultants, ambassadors, all experts around the world pertaining or related to the continent of Africa to start talking about it does not meet our particular interest. If you do this in the next couple of years, it's gonna shape things. The Sahel countries have proven it, and you have given a genuine, they've given a genuine reason why this relationship is not working. They have given a genuine reason why this partnership does not meet the needs of our people. They have given a clear indication that our interest is not represented regards to this particular collaboration. They have given clear indication that the current challenges that we are facing in our region is more than this partnership. It's bigger than partnership. Interest is the biggest thing that the geopolitical partner will not want to hear from you. You have to come across clear in your communication, in your particular engagement. The aspect of relationship is the elephant in the room. If African governments, like I said, understand the importance, the strength, the heavy weight with regards to using their particular word interest, they will break down their geopolitical partners in several areas, because any particular partner you are working with will never sign any document or jump into any particular partnership without considering the interest of their own country. That's the reason why the Guinean president came out clear and understand the colonial governmental setup in most African countries and said a particular process that is not representative of everyone in the country is not a good thing. That's why African countries must sleep with interest, think about their interest, live their interest. Interest, an example, in a whole full lot of every particular relationship they are involved in at this critical time in their history. Ukrainian particular experience at the moment is a clear example of why countries should think about their interests first. The big elephant in the geopolitical room is the word interest. Africa should dive into why interest, their particular survival, depends on their interest. The survival of their people depends on their interest. The survival of their strategic engagement depends on their interest. Their success depends on their interest. That's the language your geopolitical partners around the world understand. Interest should be your mantra moving forward. Sahelian countries have demonstrated that by talking about your interests, your geopolitical partner takes you seriously. I want to thank you for watching. Let me know with regards to why you feel African countries should, to an extent, start thinking about their interests as soon as possible to survive this current geopolitical climate that we are at the moment. I will be looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.